Well, for more on Jack Ma's plans and what lies ahead for Alibaba, we're joined by Dan McClory, live from Irvine, California. He's Managing Director and Head of China for Bousted Securities. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks, Rachelle.
So what are the most important traits of Jack Ma and his approach that have really shaped Alibaba into the e-commerce giant it is today?
Well, I think it's clear that he had the guts to try and fail on multiple occasions and persevere and ultimately succeed to a tremendous degree. You know, we always hear about stories of perseverance and resilience, but Jack Ma typifies them all. I mean, he was not even hired to work at KFC in one of his exploits or to work as a waiter at a hotel. Literally had so many rejections, but he kept coming back, and ultimately launched Alibaba. I think, Rachelle, his biggest contribution or his legacy from what he built, apart from, let's say, the wealth that he's created for many other people, including himself, somewhere in the $30 to $40 billion range, is going to be his philanthropy and his ultimate commitment to what we heard about education. This is something that I think will outlive Jack Ma and certainly the legacy of Alibaba.
Now, it's interesting because Ma has said that your 20s are for learning, your 30s and 40s are for risk-taking, and your 50s are for doing what you're good at and training others. But how much will he be involved in Alibaba's vision and operations even after he retires as chairman next year?
So he will be in place until the beginning of 2020. As you know, the shares that Jack Ma holds, along with a select group of the key officers, are what we call dual-class voting shares. And thinking back to the IPO of 2014, one of the reasons Alibaba listed in New York, on the New York Stock Exchange, instead of Hong Kong or even in China, was because they were able to have this dual-class share structure. And what that does, Rachelle, is it allows for influence and impact, and also continuity, way beyond the most companies are able to do, because Alibaba recognized the value of this key group of executives, and so now they have the ability to be impactful for quite some time. So I don't think you're going to see any great departures from either a management style or a strategic plan. I do think you're going to see increased competition. You're going to see other forces that are coming to play, whether it's the trade wars that are bursting on the scene, and certainly the international expansion of Alibaba, which is where a lot more of their growth will come from.
So given that Jack Ma is always the face that you see when you talk about Alibaba, how has this news been received by investors so far?
Well, if we just, become coin operated and look at how the stock closed today, it's down between 3% and 4%. So obviously investors voted with their wallets and said Alibaba without Jack Ma is a different proposition. I think, and one of the things that Jack Ma likes to joke about is, he said he's going to beat Bill Gates in one category. He may not be as wealthy as him, but he's going to retire before he did, and he obviously proved that today. So there has been an immediate impact in the stock market. I think it will come right back up once that news has kind of sunk in and worn off. And then there'll just be the traditional industry forces, from competition to regulatory environments to expansion, that Alibaba is going to have to continue to face and be up to the challenge.
Now, obviously, this is all happening at a time when Chinese tech firms are getting more scrutiny from some trade partners, but then you also have them trying to adapt to the Made in China 2025 industry upgrade. So what do we know about successor Daniel Zhang and the direction that he may take the company after the handover?
We heard a lot in the prior segment. This is an accountant who came in as a CFO at Tmall, who had the innovation to create Singles Day, which, as you mentioned, does more in volume than Cyber Monday and Black Friday combined. The idea being on 11/11, you're going to buy something for, number one, yourself, not somebody else, which is very innovative and very novel. I think he's going to be steady on the till. I think he's not going to take any radical actions. I think what may be missed is Jack Ma, his personality, his ability to move seamlessly between the private and the public sector, his ability to win over the backing of China, as well as international acquisition targets, key executives, that you're going to suffer from just a little bit. But I think Alibaba has been able to implant itself as such a fixture, certainly in the Chinese e-commerce economy, that it's not going to be as difficult as you might think.
And just very quickly, Dan, if you had to give your most memorable Alibaba moment, what would it be?
Well, again, it has to be Jack Ma's embracing of philanthropy. There have been many entrepreneurs globally, in the West and in the East, in China and elsewhere, who have not seen fit to give back. And I really applaud Jack Ma for doing that. And the way he has spawned, what I like to tell people is a Horatio Alger on every corner in China. You can't go into a major city and not hear from someone who says, I'm going to be like Jack Ma. I'm going to build something. I'm going to be resilient. I'm going to make it happen. I think that example that he's given has inspired so many people. And now he's manifesting it with his charity. I think it's tremendous.
All right, thank you. Always good to see you. Dan McClory there, Managing Director and Head of China at Bousted Securities.